Growing up, my siblings always had a line ready. Every dream I mentioned, my plan to start a small design business, the idea of moving abroad for work, even the writing I did in secret, they would laugh. Not in a teasing, joking way, but the kind of laughter that makes a person doubt the sound of their own voice. "Yeah, right," my oldest brother would say, "and what's that going to get you?" My sister would shrug, smirk, and mutter something about being realistic. My parents didn't intervene. Not exactly. They were polite, patient even, but always distracted by the more conventional achievements of my siblings' grades, sports, internships, promotions. I learned quickly that if I wanted my ideas to survive, I couldn't broadcast them. I had to build quietly. After college, I took a job that seemed unremarkable from the outside, freelance work, small projects, but each one I treated as a stepping stone. I spent nights reading, learning, failing, and starting again. I was meticulous, cautious, relentless. And while my siblings celebrated raises or promotions that barely mattered to me, I was planting the seeds of something real, something I would own entirely. Years passed. Their teasing became background noise. I didn't need acknowledgement to continue. The moments when I felt the most alive were those hours alone in my studio, sketching, coding, planning, negotiating contracts. Everything grew slowly, carefully, silently. Then came the family reunion. The air smelled of roasted turkey, cinnamon, and the faint bitterness of competitive small talk. My siblings were there, as expected. Daniel, loud and smug about his latest promotion, Clara, chattering about her boutique marketing firm, everyone subtly sizing each other up. I moved through the room calmly, greeting relatives, smiling politely. No one had an inkling of what I carried with me: years of effort, a business quietly worth millions, and a confidence forged from being underestimated. The moment arrived when my cousin, flippantly commenting on the fancy new gadgets I carried, accidentally glanced at an email notification I hadn't cleared. A familiar industry logo and a headline with a number, my company's recent valuation, flashed across the screen. Eyes widened. Silence fell. My siblings froze mid-conversation. Daniel leaned forward, brow furrowed. "Wait, that's your company?" "Yes," I said, calmly. "It's been growing steadily?" Clara blinked. I thought you were still freelancing." "I was," I replied. Then I scaled. The shift was immediate. Their smirks disappeared. I could see it in their faces: surprise, disbelief, a twinge of envy they couldn't hide. Years of casual dismissal had prepared them for an easy target. Now there was none. Daniel's voice rose, sharp, almost panicked. "And you didn't tell us? Not even a hint?" "I didn't think it mattered," I said. "I wasn't looking for approval." My uncle, usually the moderator of chaos, slammed his hand lightly on the table, spilling a glass of juice in frustration.
"This is unexpected!"
Daniel stood abruptly, pacing, muttering about luck and timing. "All this time, and you just kept quiet." I didn't need to add more. I didn't boast, I didn't gloat. My presence, calm and composed, said everything my words never had. My mother, who had always stayed politely on the sidelines during these power plays, finally spoke. "You worked hard. You didn't need to announce it, let's respect that." Her words, simple and firm, shifted the atmosphere. No shouting, no tears, no public confrontation. Just acknowledgement, the kind that sticks. The siblings didn't apologize, they didn't celebrate me. But the hierarchy had changed quietly, undeniably. Their laughter no longer landed with ease. The underestimation that had defined my childhood had evaporated. By the end of the evening, as the reunion wound down, I slipped away from the kitchen, unnoticed by most. Alone, I felt a strange mix of satisfaction and melancholy. Years of solitude and effort had led to this moment, but nothing was dramatically different. The world hadn't changed, it had only adjusted slightly to recognize what it had ignored for so long. Sometimes that is victory enough.